Hello, everyone, and welcome back in 2023 to ListenABLE. Now, of course, we've released a couple of episodes, but this is our first time live back in studio.
Haven't seen you since New Year's Eve.
Yeah, the 29th of January, we were at Beyond
How are
the
you,
Valley.
mate?
I'm really well.
Good.
Yeah. Have you set New Year's resolutions?
Well, I'm just unemployed. Washed up tennis player.
Yeah.
Washed up Australian of the Year.
Yeah. Podcaster, full time.
Back where I belong, just as a commoner.
Yeah.
Just part of the people.
That's right. You always have been, mate. You never left us.
I
know. Of course, we are starting off this year, and the day that we're recording this is actually only days after you've handed over the reins of Australian of the Year. Do you want to talk about the ceremony itself and our new Australian of the Year?
Yeah, so it was pretty full on couple of weeks. I was working at the tennis, not as a player, but doing a bit of stuff on TV, which I'm on, and then had to fly to Canberra. We had brekkie at the lodge with Albo and had a lunch in the middle of the day. And the ceremony was quite cool because last year I didn't really get to enjoy it because I had my semi-final and then I flew up on a plane, got there 5 minutes before it started, won Australia and left 5 minutes after, came back, got my ass kicked in the final because I was wrecked, all right?
It is my question. Before we get into the year, any regrets?
Zero. I remember I was talking to Rod Laver and I was pretty flat afterwards and he said something like, do you remember how many Australian Opens I won? And I said, I actually don't. And he goes, exactly. No one really remembers how many you win.
Yeah.
They just remember what you're about. And I was like, wow, that's so true. Yeah. I do not lose sleep that I lost that final. Doing that speech and setting up the year of talking about disability was more important to me, I thought before, and I definitely believe that now. I would have loved to have won, but, who cares?
Yeah.
And then, so being able to enjoy the ceremony, but also seeing how bloody nervous everyone nominating was. Like,
do you remember feeling that nerves the year before? Because you'd done a whole day in the sun and 3 sets on Rod Laver. It was like you were exhausted.
During the ceremony, they clear the tables. So you're not allowed to have any drinks on the table, no alcohol, no food, nothing, right? And I had a jug of electrolytes because I was drinking them because of my final and I was cramping. And I said, I've got to keep this jug. And they're like, no drinks on the table. And I was like, I really don't care. So I put it on a jug and I had it next to me on the floor. And then in between like TV little breaks, because it's live on TV, I was sculling out of this like Powerade Gatorade jug, right? So I was struggling that whole ceremony.
Yeah.
So to actually be there and enjoy it, but also to see, because it's, when you've like get nominated for something like this, one, everyone there's a winner. There's no like, I'm better than this person who's this avid. Like, come on, like incredible room. 2, you got zero control. You don't know who votes. You don't know why you're there. It's not like you go, my movie was pretty good or I'm going to win that tennis match. It's just like, choice. So there is like a nervous tension in the room and congrats to Tara and who won it. She's a body image activist, does some awesome stuff. And my only advice to you listening to this right now is please support her. It is a really tough role, which we'll get into in a sec. Beautiful role, incredible platform, but everyone's got an opinion on what you're doing. It can be pretty scary. So if you're going to write a tweet about someone, maybe second guess it because trust me, it does have an effect, especially when they build up. And it's about getting around people, not bringing them down for what they've done, in my opinion.
That's also like contradictory to her message as well. I mean, obviously she's not putting out a negative aspect of her life, but for somebody to then put, like she's got this role for body positivity, and then somebody's shaming her about her body, saying like, I think one of the most commented tweets was about what's there to be positive about or something like that. I'm like, hang on, this is trolling at its next level. We've got her in case because young women, especially, and I've got a daughter coming up, they're being faced with the biggest trial and judgment ever.
Yeah.
And that is social media. That is comparing themselves to others, unattainable beauty, Photoshop, all of the stuff that doesn't exist, this unrealistic world. And she's got this beautiful, simple message on how to change that, which is super important. And to see immediately, moments after her win, to see some vitriolic tweets, I was like, how are you not getting the message? But not even not getting it, being the antithesis of the opposite of that.
Yeah, well, it's just showing any toy that they can get a troll, basically. Yeah. And I think a lot of them are nameless faces and things like that. But from my point of view, I just, the number one question I've been asked the last couple of weeks is, am I proud of what I achieved this year? And that is a bullshit thing to say because I did nothing. Okay. I really believe we did it. And the reason we were able to have cut through and talk about disability in rooms we never would have been able to get in, but also in the vernacular and the curriculum of the country, basically, is because of everyone else.
Yeah.
Right? the government, corporate Australia, schools, charities, media got around it, people on the street, my friends, my family, you, mate, this podcast. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope you feel a role even you played and what we did together. I know we don't sit there and reflect on it, but you're like, oh, wow, that was pretty cool. And the proof is in all the beautiful messages that I got. So I really am appreciative of it. And it's not about just, there's a real thirst to talk about it, but it is about action, right? It's about moving that into action. And we didn't need to win Australia to do this. We're going to keep doing it regardless. This podcast is not stopping because we're not Australian here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We're going to keep doing what we're doing and things like that. But, and I think the biggest praise I must give is to the disabled community for getting around me, us, our message, and it's time for everybody else to get their voices amplified more and more and more, like I've always had the opportunity to do. And that's why we do this podcast, mate. It's not about you or me talking, it's about our guests and things like that. And I can't wait to see more and more, you know, role models, advocates, but also people just in everyday life enjoying them, doing what they want to do.
I think you empowered a lot of people to use their voice to advocate for themselves and others as well. So I think having you, you know, to be the pin-up boy for the Australian of the Year in that aspect also allowed people to find strength in their own voice as well. So
Do you believe that?
I genuinely do,
That's
yeah.
nice.
And I think I've seen comments come through of people saying the same sort of adage about
nice,
how
man.
important the messages were that were coming through. And Australian of the Year gave you a bigger platform in front of a different audience to get that message out that they might not have reached.
That's pretty nice for you to say, considering before we started this, you said, now you're not Australian of the Year, I'm out and Kurt Fernley's in.
Well, bringing Kurt Fernley. No,
so-
we have 2023, the year of Kurt Fernley. He's going to be on the podcast. But yeah, from a personal perspective, I'm not reflecting the audience, but you know, super proud of the work that
Thanks,
you did.
mate.
Of getting to watch it close and afar. It was pretty awesome.
I think and I often shied away with this, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of hard
my
work.
God.
And it's what I'm excited for, this series, to have a beer with you.
Yeah.
Like to hang out. Like how many times did we hang out socially last year?
No, twice I think.
And we're like,
Yeah,
like
we used to do it weekly.
weekly. So, and anyone listening, if you see me in the street, come say good day, get around it, you know, because I'm excited to meet some new people and get out and have more time to chat to people and things like that, but especially my friends, family, Chantel, Source, everyone. So, yeah, I really appreciate everyone's support on what was a pretty bloody awesome year.
And thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing this episode. And we'll see you on the next episode next Monday with Hannah Divany.
And let us know what you think about our new bonus opener. Angus
yes.
is bloody proud of it.
Well-
Right? And Meals, our producer,
Amelia
who's off
behind
camera.
the
They
scenes.
are stoked about it.
We're very
so
happy
let me
with
know
it.
what you think.
Done. We'll see you next week.